This is the main bone of contention, which is dy dx equals to an sn minus 1. Are we together? Now let's try and use it in solving this. Are we? Note that when we use it in solving this, what is our a now? We already know that our dy dx of s cube, I'm solving it one by one, of s cube, meaning what is our a here? 1. It will now be 1, which is standing as a. Let me say a equals to 1. N is the power that is carried, which is 3. And then let's follow this principle. We'll multiply 3 with a. Then you will deduct 1 from 3. That is the general principle. It will now be what? It will now be 1 times, when 3 comes here, it will be 1 times 3x. What are we having here? 3 minus 1. That's what I actually do here. I just substitute in the formulas. It's very easy. Now this will now be dy dx equals to 1 times 3 will give you what? 3. Then we have x. 3 minus 1 will give us what? Will give us 2. Now dy dx of s cube is what? 3s squared. That is how you solve. Dy dx of what? S cube is what? 3s squared. I think that is okay. Follow this formula, slot in your value for a, which is 1. Your n is 3. 1 times 3, 3. Then the power, deduct 1 from it. Then you will get this one. So whenever I'm saying s cube now, what will I be putting? I will be putting in what? 3s squared. Is that a plus here? Because we have to do for the whole. Dy dx of this whole, not ordinary single variable. Now the same thing, pick this one. Dy dx of dy dx of what? 2s squared is what? Note that in order to do that, the same thing. What is our a? Note our a equals to what? Our a equals to, what is our a here? Check the coefficient of this variable. The variable here, the coefficient is 2. Then what is our n? Our n equals to 2. Hope I'm communicating. Then what follows? Follow this principle. What would that be? It will be what? It will be 2 times, which is our a, times the n, which is also 2, x, then the n will be on top, which is also 2, minus 1. Hope we are together. Following the rules guiding what? The general principle. This will now be 2 times 2 will give us what? 4. Then we have our n to that. 2 minus 1 will give us what? 1. So 4 raised to power x, anything x raised to power 1 is still the same thing as x, isn't it? Then this will now be what? 4x. 4x. Are we together? So dy dx of 2x squared, it is what? 4x. Are we? Now let's plot it here. It will now be 4x. 4x. That is the answer. So that means dy dx of s cube plus 2x squared is what? 3x squared plus what? 4x. That is general principle. That is what? General principle. That's one approach. Another approach is that they can ask you solve this question using first principle. We have know how to use general principle now. The question might come in your exam, irrespective of the exam that it might be solve this particular question using first principle. How do we go? One thing I want you to know is that once you are good to go in knowing this general formula, general principle, then in order to solve the first principle, it will be a check balance to this. Whatever they give you, even if they give you s raised to power 5, and they ask you to find the dy dx of s raised to power 5, what would that be? Dy dx of s raised to power 5 will give us what? 5 will come here to come and multiply this, which is 1. 5 times 1 is 5, s, then deduct 1 here, which is 5s raised to power 4. That is the dy dx of this. Note that this is for the general principle. It's very simple. Within a blink of eyes, you will solve this. Once you understand this technique. Now, that will tell you that if you are actually solving, if they have specified that you have to solve using a first principle, now what to do is that we'll just be using whatever the question that firstly put it inside or slot it inside general principle. Whatever you get, are we together? Then slot, then use that to do the first principle, then check. Is it the same thing? Whatever you get for the general principle, the answer should be the same thing for the first principle. Are we? Now let's try that. are we good to go? Let's try that. Are we together? Now let me clean this off. Let me clean this up. Now note that, let's make use of this, the same question. Note that what are we having? This is now the, here I want you to calm down and listen very good. It's something that will actually help you, and it's a common question that they do ask me. Solve this particular expression using first principle. It's very easy. Don't forget, if you are finding this video very helpful, and don't forget to like, share, and also subscribe. Share to the ladies. Some are out there and they are longing for this. They haven't known this and they are still battling with this. Please try and share it. Now, note, let's come back to this. Now, this is what? SQ. And we have gotten the answer to be this. Using general GP, general principle. Now, we have to solve using FP, first principle. Let's short it to be that. First what? First principle. Now, how do we go? Let's try and put this answer. Let's put it here. 3s squared plus 4s. That means if you are using another method, we must also get 3s squared at the end of the day plus 4s. How do we go? Note, this is where I want you to get it. Mathematics, it has to do with what? The art of following some steps, following some principle. That's why they say first principle, following some key or the prominent, the initial rules. Once you follow this initial rule, you are good to go. What are the rules? We are going to be talking on the rules